The other day, I posted a picture over on Twitter saying that Incineroar EX is extremely underrated, and you guys seem to agree. Mostly. However, after I made that post, you guys were messaging me, DMing me on Twitter, putting comments on that post, asking this, that, the other, this, and I just need to say, calm down. We got you, because today we're going to be talking about the big flopper himself, if he's good, what the deck list is all about, and get into some games on PTCGL to show you the power of the big cat himself. So sit back, relax, let's talk about Incineroar EX. Alright guys, so Incineroar EX is here, and it is one of the new cards from Temporal Forces, and it is one of the new fighting type, or fighting types, so this boy ain't fighting, so, well, he's fighting, but not the way you think he is, so, fire type, right? Incineroar EX, 320 HP. It is a stage 2 Pokemon with an amazing ability called Hustle Play. The attacks used by this Pokemon will cost a colorless less for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which is great because its only attack, Blaze Blast, is 240 damage, but it requires 5 energy to even start using, which is 1 fire and 4 colorless. You're doing 240 and you burn, which means essentially in between turns you're doing 260, which is really good and not the most relevant number, but honestly still good enough. Now, let's talk about the full list. So we've got 4 Littens here. This is the Litten from Silver Tempest because it has the reprisal attack. For 2 fighting energy, you could do 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon, meaning if Incineroar has a bunch of damage on it, you do, let's say it has 100 damage, okay? Let's just make the math simple because my brain is small. So, Incineroar has 100 damage on it. You use Reprisal, you're doing 200 damage, which is pretty sick, right? And how are we doing that? With the new Relicanth from Temporal Forces, which says each of your evolved Pokemon can use any attacks from its previous evolution. So you can use the Litten attack as an Incineroar, giving you much more HP and allowing you to have a bigger damage output with Reprisal, which is pretty sick. We also play 2 Torracat here. Torracat has an amazing attack called Gritty Claws. It does 40 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon has full HP and it would be knocked out by damage from an attack, it is not knocked out, and instead you have 10 HP, which is a really sick attack to have if you get into really bad matchups, because if you know for a fact that your opponent can knock you out, but you know that you need to get 2 prize cards ahead, this could actually get you in that position to start taking prize trades a little bit more seriously and a little bit more fruitfully in your favor. So another attacker that we have in the deck is Radiant Charizard. Now this card has been everywhere. I don't think I need to talk about it, so we're not going to talk about it. We also have a Manaphy in here just to protect our bench Littens and our Pidgey. So we do play a couple copies of Pidgey in here, and it has a great attack called Call for Family. 50 HP? Meh, not great. But with Call for Family, we're able to search our deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them on our bench and shuffle our deck. We're also playing 1 copy of Pidgeotto in here because we are playing the TM Evolution, and 2 copies of Pidgeot EX. Now, personally, this is the list that I'm playing around with, but if you want to change out the Pidgeys for Bibarels, you 100% can. You'll just have to take out a Pidgeotto, and then you can find out what your next card could be, probably something like Super Rod. Now, we do have the new Buddy-Buddy Poffin here at 4 copies. This allows us to search our deck for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them on our bench, then shuffle our deck. This is great for getting our Littens out. It's great for getting Manaphy down if we need it in a pinch, but it's also great for getting our Pidgeys as well. The only Pokemon that you are not getting it with it are the Relicanth and the Charizard, but that is where the 2 Nest Ball can also come in to help us out. We're playing 1 copy of Energy Switch in here. This card has actually saved my hide a few times in a few matchups because we are playing 3 copies of Magma Basin. You can take an energy from your discard, put it on one of your bench Pokemon, do 20 damage to it, and then move that energy to one of your other Pokemon with the Energy Switch, which is super good. We also have the new Prime Catcher in here. This is basically a escape rope if you got to choose the Pokemon that your opponent was escape roping to, if that makes sense. Basically, it allows you to choose an opponent's bench Pokemon, bring it to the active, and then you get to choose one of your bench Pokemon and put it into the active, which is a really sick effect on an item card. Next up, 3 copies of Rare Candy. The only reason we're playing 3 and not 4 is because we are playing 2 copies of the TM Evolution, which allows us to turn our Littens and our Pidgeys into Pidgeotto and our Torracat. So we don't really always need to use our Rare Candy, but it is there for if we have the opportunity to actually Rare Candy into a stage 2, which is great. 1 copy of Switch because stall is a problem. We also have 4 copies of Ultra Ball in here. Could cut it down to like a 3-3 in the Nest Ball and the Ultra Ball, but honestly, I feel like if you're going to play 4 Ultra Ball, you should probably play the barrel version. I'm not doing that because I am not, you know, the best deck builder in the world, but this list has been working for me, and the Ultra Ball has been nice. So, we also have 4 copies of Arven in here. Going second, being able to use Arven, we are able to actually grab ourselves a Buddy Poffin and the TM Evolution, and since we are playing 11 energy in this deck, if we have an energy in hand, we are able to use that TM Evolution on one of our Pokemon and then start evolving right away on our first turn going second, which is really, really good. We also have 2 bossless orders in here for nice gust, 3 copies of Iono for good disruption, 2 copies of Professor's Research, and we have 2 copies of Jet Energy because, again, stall is a problem, and we do have 9 Fire Energy. That is the basis of the entire deck, so we are going to go ahead and start playing some games. All right, guys, here we go with our Incineroar EX deck. We'll see if we can get this thing to pop off. Now, we do need to get a very decent setup, and hopefully we can get like an Arven go second, all that good stuff. If that is the case, then we're fine, but we'll see. We will see. We also need to not hit things like Vulpix, and if we hit Vulpix, then we have a strategy, but it's very, very scary to try to pull off. Ooh, we want to go second, actually. Thank you very, very much for the offer. See what our opponent's got in store for us. I'm seeing Roaring Moon sleeves. We do have an Arven. We have the Litten. No energy in hand. You'd think with having 11 energy in the deck, you could find an energy. But no, we do not find an energy. I don't know what it is with PTCGL either. I've tested this deck a little bit, and I will say the majority of the time, I will not find an energy to start with, which does stink. Ooh, this matchup's rough, too. This is a rough one because that Primordial Beatdown is scary. And Roaring Moon is even scarier. However, with enough disruption before they can build up multiple attackers, we should be fine. Let's see what they can do. And they've also limited their Koraidons to only doing a max of 150 here thanks to having the Greninja on the bench. So we're kind of chilling. We are kind of chilling. Let's see. Good top deck. It is an Incineroar, so not a good top deck. So I can either Iono here or I can Arven. I'm gonna Arven. Arven seems fine. We'll grab ourselves a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. And you know what? Why not? We will grab our TM Evolution. Even though we cannot even use it right now, we are still going to grab it. We'll grab ourselves a Litten and a Pidgey. And from here, we are going to pass. Unfortunately, if we had an energy in hand, we could have popped off with the Evo. But we just never get the energy in the opening hand. I don't know what it is about this deck that does not want to give us energy, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. They're going to draw 2 cards here, see what they got. I assume they wouldn't use the Greninja unless they had ways to get energy on this Koraidon. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's see what they have. Energy on the bench, energy on the Koraidon. They got a knockout on Litten here. Luckily for us, we do have Arven available, so that is nice. We can Ultra Ball away the Evolution and the Torracat for the Pidgeot, play Arven to get the Rare Candy, get the Pidgey evolved, and then with that, we can get another Rare Candy, get the Litten set up. Although we need an energy. We still haven't even hit an energy yet. We kind of need that energy pretty badly now. That works. That works. It kind of works. We still need an energy, though. Rare Candy. Rare Candy into Pidgeot. Yeah, well, Rare Candy into Pidgeot. There's no reason not to do that. I guess we can evolve. And we will go boom and boom. Get another Litten on the bench. Quick search. And we will grab ourselves... What do we want to grab ourselves? I guess we can grab ourselves an energy for this turn. Pop the energy there. I don't want them to swing into my Pidgeot, so I'm going to have to give them another Litten. Feels bad. That means we only have 2 Incineroar that we can play around with this entire game now because we just could not pop off on the setup. The setup did not want to happen for us. Fluttermane. Fluttermane actually counters Incineroar pretty nicely, so glad to see that going into the discard. We don't want our ability to be shut off. And there's another Sada. They are wasting resources, which is nice. There's an Explorer's Guidance. I am going to hit them with an Iono next turn, so that is fine. Because if they save if they throw away a bunch of like supporters and they put some supporters in their hand, they're going to go straight into the straight into the bottom of the deck. They threw away a lot of energy too, which is pretty nice. We'll see if they attach for the turn. They didn't Sada this turn. Did they have energy to do so? I don't think so. Okay, so not much going on here. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 energy in play, and then 1, 2, 3 in discard. We did get another energy, which is not needed right now. Let's go ahead and quick search. We will grab ourselves... What do we want to grab ourselves? Let's grab ourselves another Litten, I suppose. Don't really need much of anything else currently. Get Litten down. We'll give the homie an energy, and we will Iono here. We'll draw 6. They will draw 4. And with this, there's really not much else to do but to Blaze Blast for 240 damage. If they got an energy in hand, they can start attacking with those Roaring Moons. There is another TM Evolution just chilling. Bringing up the Koraidon. Okay, so they must have a Sada. Well, yeah, they have to have a Sada, right? Because usually this deck only plays 3 fighting energy. There's currently 3 fighting energy into the discard right now. So they must have a Sada in hand. I must have given them a Sada with that Iono. Oh, they got the Awakening Drum. So they're just kind of preemptively expecting the Sada draw. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And with the Artisan, they were able to shuffle the bottom of their deck because they were able to search. So that's pretty good. Pretty good there. I'm just going to hit you with another Iono next turn. And because of, like, the Koraidon doing what it's doing, only 150 damage, if they want to, like, stack Koraidons on me, they need to attack 3 times to get a KO on my Incineroar, which is pretty neat. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and quick search. I will grab a Rare Candy. And then I'm going to Ultra Ball Pidgey and Pidgeot. Get rid of those. We'll grab ourselves an Incineroar here. We'll Rare Candy onto the homie. And then we are going to... We'll attach to the Pidgeot. Why not? Have a nice little secondary attacker. And we'll Iono here. So we'll get rid of that giant hand of theirs. Put them back down to 4. Which feels perfectly fine. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and Blaze Blast here. As much as like the Prime Catcher is like nice to think about currently to try and get rid of the moons early, that homie's ready to strike, and I don't want him to strike. So we gotta do something. We gotta do something. So Artisan coming into play here. Okay, another Koraidon. Explorer's Guidance doing what it does best. Hopefully not giving them an energy in order to attack me, because that is what they need currently. 1 energy to attack me with this Koraidon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark energies accounted for already. I think it's a 6-3 split, maybe a little bit more. There's an Earthen Vessel, so we'll see if there is one in the deck. Oh, they had one in hand. They're dumping it. Okay, so they do have one more. So they are going to strike me here with the Koraidon. And there's a Trekking Shoes. Getting rid of another Fluttermane. Fluttermane would have been interesting to see come up, because obviously with the Hustle play, we can't actually use our attack for only 1 energy. So, but hey, I mean, just pure straight up attacking me is also very, very nice. They also will not get the knockout here, which is good for us. It's very good for us. But the scary thing becomes the Roaring Moons, because now that they're so low on the deck, their Roaring Moons are probably going to be hitting for a ton of damage. So that makes them very, very important threats. We still have 1 Iono available to us. I think we might hold until we see... there's a Superior. Okay, they got the Superior going down. I think we might hold... Are they going to get 4 energy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, they could afford to, just in case I Iono them. Yeah, they're getting 4. Okay. Energy going onto the Koraidon. Have we seen a Super Rod yet? We have not. Okay. So, what do I want to do here? I think for longevity purposes, just to keep myself alive a lot longer, I think I'm going to prime catch out a Roaring Moon. And do I want to attack with this Incineroar? No, I'm going to switch back into this one. We're going to put down a Relicanth. And I'm going to use Pidgeot here. We only have one Iono left, and I kind of want to save it for after they get a KO. Let's grab ourselves a Magma Basin. And we'll bump their Artisan. We'll attach for the turn onto the Incineroar. That seems fine. And then we'll research. And we will... yeah, we'll just Blaze Blast here. We'll get rid of the Roaring Moon. The Roaring Moon is now becoming the bigger threat to the benched Incineroar because of its huge damage potential. And the Koraidon is always going to be swinging 150, which means it's going to need 3 turns just to knock out this Incineroar. So if we can start juggling the Roaring Moons, I think we'll be in a much better position. But I don't think we're going to have much of an opportunity to juggle the Roaring Moons. Oh, they got the Sada too. Yikes. Okay, so things just got even scarier. I do not think we're going to get the dub here. I was kind of personally hoping that we would see them try to like put a... what's its face down? The little homie. Fluttermane. I was kind of hoping to see a Fluttermane come into play so that way we could boss that up and swing into it with Pidgeot. But they are built. So this is the board you want to see as an Ancient Box player. Because now you just have all the answers. You have all of the answers. I think what I might do... hear me out. I'm going to do something a little crazy. I haven't seen any switch cards go into the discard yet. So I'm going to do something a little bit crazy, and we're going to see if it pulls through for us. So I'm going to bring up the Pidgeot. They're already built up. So I'm going to use Quick Search. I'm going to grab a Boss's Orders. I'm going to boss up the Great Tusk. And then I'm just going to blustery win for 120. And we'll discard the Stadium card. We'll see what they do here. We'll see what they do here. Because I haven't seen any switch cards. I did see one. There's one Jet Energy in here. I haven't seen any switch cards yet. So we'll see if we actually keep this Great Tusk stuck in the active for a little while. And there's a Sada. Oh, we might not keep this thing stuck. They might actually just land collapse us. Which is fine if they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 energy currently in play. I think we just use our last boss's orders as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now... so I'm going to quick search. They've only got 4 cards left in deck, too. Yeah, we did use our last boss's orders. I'm going to grab a Radiant Charizard. Can this thing swing 280 damage, though? That's the question I have right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 ancient Pokemon or ancient cards in there. 16 with this. 16 and 7. That's 200. Or I'm so dumb. That's 230. They need 5. It might not be impossible for them. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to retreat, go into Zard, and we'll swing 250. I think this might be the way around. Because if they don't play boss's orders, because I haven't seen a single one yet, but if they don't play boss's orders, there's no way for them to OHKO as Incineroar. So if they knock out the Charizard, we bring up Incineroar, we use Pidgeot to Iono them, and then whatever they bring up can't actually KO the Incineroar, and we are going to be in a perfect position. So we'll see how this goes. So they did get 2. That was a third one with the Great Tusk going to discard. So Zard is going to get knocked out for sure, but I don't know if they actually had a way to get 280, but this just feels better. Okay, I think we might actually have game here, guys. This is feeling pretty good. So we'll bring up the Pidgeot. He's going to hang out in the active for just a second. And then we are going to quick search. And we are going to grab ourselves an Iono. We are going to... Yeah, you know what? We're going to attach a Jet Energy to the Incineroar. That is fine. And then we are going to Iono. We'll give them 1 card. We will get 2. Not that the 2 really matter. And then we are going to swing for 240 damage on this Roaring Moon. And we'll see if our opponent has a way to knock out the Incineroar. I don't think they have a way to actually pull it off. And I also think there's no way for them to gust up the Pidgeot with only 1 card in hand unless we gave them the 1 boss's orders that they probably play. And if they play Custom Catcher, not Custom Catcher, I'm always forgetting the name of that card. Counter Catcher. No, they don't have it. Okay, so if they had Counter Catcher, they couldn't even use it now because we're both at 1. So that is our first game with the big floppa coming out of W. Down goes the Roaring Moon, and this matchup is actually fairly difficult. So luckily we were able to pull that off. Whew, that was actually legitimately scary. That was scary for the cat. All right, guys, we got one more game for you because our last game was just not a good setup. It was not optimal in any way, shape, or form, and it really put us on the back foot. We were fighting for our lives in that match. Oh, did we just win the coin flip? Please let me go I want to go second, buddy. Please. Hopefully we can actually get like an energy and an Arven and all that. This hand would have been kind of good if we had an Arven and a basic because we have energies, but we don't really got much going on for us. So we're going to have to take that mulligan. Let's see what we get out of the mulligan, though. Hopefully we do get an energy. Hopefully we do get the TM Devo and the Arven. We get set up. We can start evolving some Pokemon and all that good stuff. But we will see what we are up against. 2 mulligans. What was our second mulligan? Yikes. Okay, you know what? Actually, pretty decent. This is not bad. Okay, so we don't actually have to Arven for the evolution. We have it in hand, but we are going to get the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and we have a research for next turn. The downside, though, the big downside is we have the Pidgeotto in hand, which means we are not going to be able to evolve our Pidgey into Pidgeotto. Oh, no, we are up against Gen-Pal, and they pass? Brother? Okay. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a Buddy-Buddy Poffin and a TM Evolution. Seems fine to me. We will Buddy-Buddy Poffin 2 Littens into play, right? It might as well be 2 Littens because we're probably going to have to research next turn. Because we can Ultra Ball for... Yeah, okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. We'll do this. We will attach here. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to evolve our Pidgey into a Pidgeotto. But we will evolution our Litten on the bench into the Torracat. Yep. No evolutions for the Pidgey, but we do have the Torracat. So that is fine. Still worked out in the end. We are going to have to research next turn, which isn't a big deal. And there's an Irida. So I'm going to assume like Rare Candy and Backs or something like that. They did not have much going for them going on their first turn there. So we'll see what they grab here. Maybe a Buddy-Buddy. Maybe a Buddy-Buddy. They might not feel pressured to actually get the Backs caliber into play yet. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. If I can top deck a Rare Candy, though, whew, beautiful. Or even just an Arven, so we can get the Pidgeot EX up and running. That'd be great. All right, so we do see a Greninja. We do see the Rare Candy. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Hold up. Are they going to attach and then put 3 on the Ninja? I hope that's not the case because we did not get a Manaphy. Oh, no, SpaghettiOs. Give me the cat. Give me the other cat. Okay, cool, 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 cool. We'll take that. That is a much better position to be in, if I'm going to be honest. And another Frigibax coming into play. That makes sense. Nest Ball. Getting another Bidoof. Okay. This is all fine. Everything is fine. Let's calm down. They only need the 1 energy to actually knock out our poor little Litten here, which, poor kitty. So now the question is, what do we promote? I feel like the right answer is the Torracat, because we can get an instant KO on the Shenpao, which feels great. Yeah, okay, so we'll bring up the Torracat. Give me a Rare Candy top deck. Buddy-Buddy Poffin. You know what? We'll take it. We'll grab another Litten, and we will grab a Manaphy. Because we have to research, we might as well just throw away the Pidgeot and the Pidgeotto. And we will grab ourselves the Big Floppa. Put Big Floppa in the active and research and hopefully hit a Fire Energy. Are you kidding me? Where are all my Fire Energy, brother? Where are my Fire Energies? What is going on here? This doesn't feel good. How do we not hit a Fire Energy? There's 9 of them in the deck, bro. Come on. Well, now we definitely 100% lose because the only way that we actually could win this matchup is to like knock out the Shenpao, get 2 prizes, and then juggle between the Incineroars and then come in for a final KO with like Zard. So unfortunately, this is a terrible position to be in. This is awful. This is absolutely dreadful. Like, we get knockout next turn, but at what cost, you know? Although they don't have a Bibarel down yet. Oh, they're going to get one now because they're probably going to Irida for an Ultra Ball. So the Iono is less potent, but if they had like a bunch of good stuff in hand, put it at the bottom and we are chilling. Especially if they like overextend the amount of energy that they put in hand. Like if they like Shivery Chill and do other things. Ooh, Prime Catcher. Not happy about that. Not happy about that. They did get a Kyogre though. Conceal cards, draw 2. Please tell me they don't find a superior energy retrieval. Because if they do, we're in trouble. Okay, they're just going to Hail Blade. Thank goodness. They do have that Prime Catcher in hand, though, which is nice because now we can Iono that back to the bottom. And we'll get a KO on this Shenpao. Okay, so this Iono better come in clutch for us. That's all I'm going to say. Magma Basin doesn't do jack diddly at all, so we are just going to Iono them to 4. Oh, okay, this is feeling pretty good now. Let's go ahead and Rare Candy up. And we will quick search. And we will grab ourselves another Incineroar. And we will Rare Candy into Incineroar. And then we will Blaze Blast for 240. Instant KO. And they're burned, but the burn doesn't really matter. And we will take 2 prize cards. Let's see how the opposition reacts. So Bidoof coming into the active here makes sense because it is a single retreat cost Pokemon. Don't hate that play at all. Cypher Maniac's code breaking, which is probably going to be drawing into anything they want if they have an energy in hand, because the Greninja will be able to conceal cards and energy away. They'll draw the 2 cards that are on top of their deck. So really setting up here nicely. Cypher Maniac is so good in like Greninja decks because of just that one interaction. Yeah, so they're going to draw the 2 cards. I'm assuming one of them is probably going to be like Babarrel and then something else. Babarrel and something else definitely have to be like the call here. Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Okay, so it's a fail. Just thin in the hand out to draw 2 cards. Maybe 3 if they attach an energy. Industrious Incisors. Drawing some cards. I think what I'm going to do is if they don't knock me out this turn... Okay, they're going to use Superior Energy Retrieval. Did they get the cat? Did they get a Chien-Pao? Please tell me they did not get a Chien-Pao. I don't want them to have the Chien-Pao. That feels not good for me. Attach for turn onto the Bidoof, retreating into something. Into the Greninja. Super Cold 3. Okay, so they're going to Super Cold 3 onto the Greninja and just do 90 damage here. Or actually 180 because weakness. But they're not going to hurt our bench, which is nice. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to probably boss out the Baxcalibur. I'm probably going to boss out the Baxcalibur here. So we're not going to Arven. We'll evolve here. That seems fine. We are going to quick search to get a boss's orders. Yoink. And we are going to boss out the Baxcalibur. The Greninja can keep his little energy. I do not care. And we will Blaze Blast for 240. We'll get rid of that Baxcalibur. Force them to have even more resources to play in order to get another Baxcalibur into play. So we need them to start using more and more resources here. They're down 2 Irida already. Only down 1 Rare Candy. But they are down a Bax now, so that is something that they need to figure out. They need to draw into it with the Babarrel here. I don't think they have any energies in hand either, so we kind of hit their one weak spot at the moment. Now, if they don't actually evolve this into a Baxcalibur, canceling Cologne. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't really... Counter Catcher. Okay, hold up. My Manaphy's in trouble, baby. Although they can only knock out the Torracat here. And they're grabbing a couple of energy. Okay, so 4 more energy going to the hand. And then we're going to see 2 mystery cards. Yeah, we're going to see 2 mystery cards in the hand. We're not going to know what they are if they conceal cards. So hopefully it's not something to get them a Baxcalibur, because that would be awful for us in this position. Nope. Okay, perfect. For all of you that said that this deck folds to Chien-Pao, look at that. What do you think of that? You know, I'm not really a cat guy. I kind of like dogs more, but this cat, I like that. That's cool. No, but for real, you know, Incineroar is really fun to play around with. Do I think it's going to be like an S tier deck? Absolutely not. It is not going to be like this big S tier deck, but it is super fun to play. It can be consistent, and it's not even at its optimal 60 yet. I mean, Temporal Forces just came out, so maybe in the future, this card could actually be extremely powerful. And because your opponent thinks, oh, you know, if I just don't bench Pokemon, then they can't do anything. But with Reprisal, because of the Relicanth, doesn't matter. You can just pop off anyway. So honestly, I really like the card. I think you guys should give it a shot. If you guys want to play around with the deck list will be in the description below. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to have yourself a good day.